I think more than anything is I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. And so for me, I've always realized that I'd rather have a smaller piece of a pie if the pie is really big. Currently, the way that they are is as scalable as we want it to be. And so that kind of put a magnifying glass on it. So it's like, oh, this is a big mistake, right? Like you've dealt with me plenty of times where it's like, hey, we need this document or we need this thing to be able to expand this portion of your marketing. And so we really focused on that over the last 6 months, where it's like, let's actually get processes put into place. Let's get the right people in the right seats and let's grow this business. Let's not have Brett trying to figure out all the operations. Let's have Brett go work on what he's good at, kind of like the visionary, building relationships and building that growth plan. And we'll let these people do this part. And it's just been really good just delegating and seeing it grow within itself.
Thanks for joining me today, Brett. Appreciate you're so busy, but taking the time to talk to me.
It's my first podcast ever. So
yeah, really?
Yeah, the virginity of the podcast.
I feel like you're like this famous entity in my mind that you're probably in demand everywhere. I'm surprised.
No,
I'm the first one.
I stay off the camera as much as possible.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like a social media influencer and everything, but
so funny.
It's not.
I wish.
That's awesome.
Maybe down the road.
Well, thanks for joining me. I know that you're busy and you're always traveling and going to other states, coaching your employees, running multiple businesses. So I appreciate the time.
Yep, that's no problem at all. It's actually, I the reason why I don't do podcasts is I think I get too nervous about them, even though they always turn out pretty okay.
Yeah.
But I always like get kind of nervous in front of the camera. But I know it's good for me. It'll help me grow, and I know there will be some value for both of us after today.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you don't have any crazy looks right now. There's no mullets. No.
The little mullets. Oh, yeah. You just can't see it all. It's just kind of lazy today.
Baby mullet?
Yeah, a little baby mullet.
Nice.
Yeah, we're working on it. I asked my wife, because she's the one that matters the most. Whatever she wants me to do. If she told me to shave my head, I would, right? Uh-huh. And she hasn't changed it yet. So I'm like, all right, you just tell me when you're ready to change my hairstyle, and I'll change.
Dictates the style.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you see how I dressed in 2022 versus now, I chase like fitted clothes, nice clothes. Like she has like a whole wardrobe done. So
I see where this came from.
Exactly. You see a little bit of a change. So it's all shout out to Callie, because she's done all of it.
The babe herself. Yep. Nice. Awesome. But okay, so going back to the roots, you're the original owner of Advocacy, Select Adjusters, all of it, right?
Yep. I started all in my parents' their basement. As cliche as that sounds, me and my brother were in the basement. We're like, let's start this in 2016. And so
you and your brother started it, but did you buy your brother out?
Wait, I did. Yep. So my brother decided that he wanted to join kind of like the finance sector more than the home service sector. And so I think it was in
Curtis, your brother?
So he was part of it too for a little bit. So he was in it for a few months, and then Marcus was my main partner, and he stayed in until about 2019. I have just a load of brothers. I have 8 brothers and 2 sisters. So
wow.
big family.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm always involved with one of my siblings somehow.
Wow.
Yep. And so 2016 until now, 2025, we've been running and gunning and learned a lot of lessons in that time frame.
Yeah, it's come a long way.
Yeah.
What is some of the growing pains that you had in the first couple of years of starting the business?
Man, there's a lot. Cash flow is probably the hardest one to deal with as a home service company. You're always having to balance cash flow, especially working in the insurance area.
Yeah.
Because insurance companies,
delayed.
they know to delay, right? They have infinite amount of money compared to these small home service companies. So I've seen a lot of people over the last 9 years go out of business because they didn't know how to manage their cash flow. And so I've gotten close to that very many times, right? Really? I've had to take some hard money loans to make sure that I stayed above water, to make sure our payroll's always paid. And knock on wood, I've never missed payroll. That's always like one of the claim to fame. I'm sure most business owners can say that, but there's been times where I'm like, do I need to take it out of my bank account, like my personal account? And we've always been able to make it work the right way. So our clients are always taken care of, and so are our employees. Yep.
And it's no small feat too, because you have a lot of employees now, right? How big is the Advocacy home company organization?
I
now?
hate getting asked this question because I actually don't know the number, and I should, and that's why I hate the question so much. But if I were to take a guess, we currently probably have, through all of Advocacy, I would say we probably have about 75 W-2 employees, and then with subcontractors and sales reps that are like 1099 services, I would say we probably have an additional like 200.
200?
So, yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people under, because you think about it, like a roofing crew, you have anywhere between 5 to 10 guys for that crew.
Yeah.
And at any given time, we have 5 to 6 crews running just on the roofing side. And then we have the HVAC side, and those ones are a lot smaller. Usually a crew is 2 or 3 guys, but we have 3 of those crews running at any given time. And then we have the drywall and the restoration and the mitigation. And so you just start adding it on, and we have a lot of people working with our services. And so one of my business partners, Mo, he always talks about how when that door knocker, we talked to Brandon earlier today, when you have a door knocker or if you have a lead from online, that first communication, that first knock, that first click on an ad affects so many people's lives. It's not just my life, it's not just the door knocker's life, it's not just the homeowner's life, but all the different employees that we have here in America and the Philippines and Colombia, all the different people that are affected by that one door knock is crazy to think about when you actually think about it. It's like that butterfly effect is real.
A lot of people's lives depend on all of that.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that.
That's a lot of impact that you've made throughout the last decade of.
Yeah, it's almost a decade. It's crazy when you say it like that. It's kind of scary.
Interesting. That's awesome. So how did it go from, you started just working in roofing, and how did you get into public adjusting?
Yeah, so
it was Advocacy first, then Select Adjusters, right?
Actually the opposite.
It was Select Adjusters first.
Yep. So Select Adjusters is like my baby, the one that I've run. I started. We originally were working hand in hand with my brother's company, which at the time was Ray Brothers Construction. They were doing all the fulfillment for the roofing side of things.
I see.
And so we were doing all the public adjusting. We'd go and help homeowners fight their insurance claims.
Public adjusting seems like such a hard industry to break into just right out of the gate. How did you decide to do that? Like, that's like legal work.
So it's crazy. So I worked for a public adjuster for about 3 months. I don't really think that he was taking care of me at the time. I felt like I was running a lot of his construction department and a lot of his sales. Like I was working in his sales department as well. And he was paying me $12 an hour. And I'm like, hey, I know, like I'm young.
A cheap education, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm really young, I get it. But at the end of the day, I need more. Like I'm planning on getting married, having kids. So I need to start building some type of bank account for me and my future family. And he's like, yeah, you're not really worth it. And
oh, he said that to you?
Yeah, it was
Holy
like,
cow.
I remember very vividly. I was in his truck driving to a meeting with an insurance company.
Are you still in contact with him?
No, definitely not. So it got kind of hairy. Like he sued me and it got really bad, but it all worked out. Like it went really bad for him, not so bad for me. But long story short though, is he offered me $52K a year to start, which is $25 an hour. Then he said, hey, you're really young, so let's start you out at half that cost, but at $12 an hour, and then we'll reconvene.
You weren't that young, right? Because this is 2014.
21. Yeah, I was 21.
Mission.
Yeah, I was 21.
You speak Spanish and English.
Exactly, and that's why he wanted to hire me, because I was
you have
bilingual.
Experience on the doors.
Exactly, and so I thought I was this little secret squirrel, right? And so about 3 months later, I was like, you know what? I don't even want the full 52. Just give me $40K a year. Put me on salary, making $20 an hour, and I'll prove to you I'll never leave. I'll be your best employee ever. It's like, yeah, you're not worth it. And so that's when I started doing more sales for him. I did I think in my first week of sales, I did 6 contracts, which again, I've never sold a roof before. Well, I sold 1 roof in high school and my dad was kind of doing roofing. I went and talked to one of my friends and they sold a roof, right? So I sold 1 roof before that. And yeah, he just no, let's just keep you working on the trend. We'll take care of you. And so I went to my brothers. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Really like this guy, really like working with this guy. It's my first real job besides scooping custard at Nielsen's Frozen Custard, right? Yeah. And so they're like, hey, you're worth way more than that. You need to leave. So I was kind of standing at the edge of the cliff. And at 21, I was thinking this is a life-changing decision. If I left that company, I'd never get a job again, right? That's what my brain was telling me. And they basically kicked me off the cliff and said, no, we're going to start something. Let's go make it happen. And so we started it. Me and Marcus were doing the public adjusting. My brother Danny was doing the roofing side that we would work with his company hand in hand. And then Curtis was helping kind of manage the business operations. And then slowly we just kind of started buying people out of their companies. And so it just ended up being me. And then Wesley started partnering with me. And now him and I are partnered in everything.
It's awesome. Yeah, and how did you bring Wesley into this?
Yeah, so Wesley, I love Wesley's story though, because it's so, I don't know, raw is probably the best way that I could say it. Is we went to high school together, but we weren't really friends. Like, we were friends of friends. My friend group was friends with his friend group, but we weren't really friends. Like, we were very competitive too in high school. So whenever I would do something, he'd want to outdo me. So there's always like this.
So you were very aware of each other.
Yeah, we knew each other in high school, but we weren't friends. I think for that reason, because the competition.
That's fine.
So he actually was the first person in our high school to go on his mission, and everyone was so mad about it because he kind of like fast tracked everybody because he was one of the youngest, and it was right when everyone was able to go when they're 18. I graduated at 18. I turned 19 a month later, so everyone was really mad that he left like in June and everyone else was leaving in July, August, September. And so he left on his mission, came back. He started working in telecommunications, selling CenturyLink for a company, and he thought he was balling, right? He was making like $500 a week, so knocking doors at this time. I come back from my mission. I go and I start Select Adjusters, and I bring on a lot of people from our high school to start working with me. And these guys are all talking to him saying, oh, dude, I just made $2,000 this week. I made $1,500 this week. I made $4,000 this week. Just these crazy numbers that Wesley was like, you guys are lying. This isn't real, right? And so he comes in. I think this was it was definitely September because it was Marcus's birthday. Because I remember we were all there celebrating Marcus's birthday, and Wesley came in for an interview. So we had him taking the picture of all of us at this birthday party, right? So somewhere around September 23rd was when Wesley started. His first day, he came and knocked with us, and it was me and him knocking together. And Wesley's bilingual as well. He speaks Spanish. He served in California, so we both were speaking Spanish. And we closed this deal. What was his name? Epimenigo? I don't remember his name exactly, but I remember his house. It was actually right down the street from the podcast studio.
Oh, no way.
And we closed this deal. I'm like, Wesley, you see how it's done, right? Really easy. And he's like, yeah, you didn't have to pull social security numbers. You didn't have to pull credit. You didn't do anything. You just had to sign this contract and told them that they're going to get a new roof. Like, it's that easy. He's like, so you're telling me at this time, he's like, I just made $250 on this deal. And I'm like, yeah, it's that easy. He's like, we've only been knocking for 25 minutes. Like, that's all you have to do. I'm like, yeah, you ready? And like, I pull a tablet out of my backpack. Like, you got this? And like, no training at all. I just said, you got this? You saw how I did it, right? He's like, yeah, I guess I'll figure it out. And the next day he sold 2 contracts, made $500. And that day he's like, I'm quitting. I'm going to go quit my other place. So they kind of rogue for a day just to see. So he quit that place, started working. He was relentless, just knocking doors all day, bringing people on, training them. So I brought him in as a sales manager. He just kept growing in that field, and then he wanted a little bit more of the operation side. So he started working in the office. Once he started proving that he can do the office and the sales side, we promoted him kind of as like a junior partner. And then when my brother decided that he wanted to leave the company, he became an equal partner with me. So and brought on a bunch of people from CenturyLink as well. So it was a really cool experience. Yeah, like Mo was from CenturyLink as well. Because it's the same concept, right?
What about Josh? Was he your high school friend too?
So Josh has been my best friend since 2nd grade. And so like me and him have been friends forever. He actually worked for Select for a little bit and then left and then came back. And so he's been with us for a long time as well. But yeah, me and Josh have been friends forever. But with Mo, it was the same concept where he heard through the grapevine that Wesley was making a bunch of money. And then Mo's like, that's bullcrap. I'm the hardest worker ever. Then he came and started working. He started making a lot of money.
And Mo's doing great. So that's awesome.
And so it just proves the concept. When you're helping these homeowners with what they need, you can make money too. And so my dad, I always tell people this. My dad always said that don't let money be the reason, let it be the result. So if your reason is to help homeowners or provide a really good service, you're going to make money, right? People are going to start calling you. They're going to start recognizing your brand and things like that. And so that's always been something that I kept in the back of my head, and it just kind of built itself at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome concept.
It is.
Way to go, Dad.
Clifford, yeah. Clifford. He doesn't like money at all though. He's the guy that will not have a dollar to his name because he just gives it away.
Everyone
and doesn't really care about it.
Relationships with money.
Yeah.
Which I struggle with that a lot running my own business, because I was always trying to just provide value and not charge people, and then sometimes you need to charge people in order to make them money too. Yeah. And so it's like, but yeah, I mean, realizing later on, like, just provide a really good service and then you'll be able to make a lot of money. Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. And he's made a lot of money, but he's really good at having the family spend a lot of money too. But I definitely have learned a lot from him on that side of it though, because I have the concepts of being very thrifty and good with my money because I saw them living with a family of 9 kids. You have to be at least a little frugal because there's just so many mouths to feed. So I've definitely learned a lot of concepts from my family, which is awesome.
And you're from the Valley here?
Yeah,
where you were raised? Okay.
Yeah, born and raised, and all of the partners, or the majority of the partners, Mark from Everest and Payson and Dale from Block, and Wesley, we call ourselves the Valley Boys, right? We've all grown up in the Valley, and I think that's also helped a lot with our business being so local here, even though we expanded to other places, but we have our baseline network. Exactly.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so what has driven you to grow so much? Like, that's also something unique with your business, is that I feel like you guys have a much bigger vision than most other business owners I know. Most business owners just are content. Just like, as long as they have their 2 or 3 guys busy, then it's good. Yeah. But like, you guys have done a really good job at like replacing yourself, in the sales role. Like, Wesley doesn't knock doors anymore, does he? He's super busy with operations. And then he replaces himself and finds more people and partners with more businesses. Like, I think you bought how many roofing companies?
Like, probably 2 is where we're at right now. Yeah, we bought 2, and then there's ones that kind of merged into our company as well. Yeah. And we're on the look right now for an HVAC company potentially out in Vegas. So always just looking for some good opportunities. Yeah. To kind of merge it and make the process work together and help people grow. So it's been cool seeing that. So kind of to answer your question though, why we do it or how we do it, I think more than anything is I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. And so for me, I've always realized that I'd rather have a smaller piece of a pie if the pie is really big, because I'm not really good at the operations, right? I'm really good at doing my way of the operations, but it's very hard to scale my way of the operations, right? Because one day I'll do it this way and then the next day I'll do it this way. And I'm always changing like how I do things. And so it's really good having Wesley and Gary and people that are working inside the operations side to create something that is scalable. And so we recently actually just applied EOS to our business, which has helped us really understand like the concept of like making sure everyone has their seat. Everyone knows that they're supposed to follow a process. We realized that there is no way our processes currently, the way that they are, is as scalable as we want it to be. And so that kind of put a magnifying glass on it. So it's like, oh, this is a big mistake, right? Like you've dealt with me plenty of times where it's like, hey, we need this document or we need this thing to be able to expand this portion of your marketing. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that, or I've never done that before. We have no process for that, Bryce. Sorry, like we need to figure it out. And so we really focused on that over the last 6 months, where it's like, let's actually get processes put into place. Let's get the right people in the right seats, and let's grow this business. Let's not have Brett trying to figure out all the operations. Let's have Brett go work on what he's good at, kind of like the visionary, building relationships and building that growth plan. And we'll let these people do this part. And it's just been really good just delegating and seeing it grow within itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's an awesome answer.
It's been crazy, but it's been good. It's been really good. It's been a little bit confronting at times because it doesn't feel good when someone tells you that your business sucks.
You're not doing something right. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
It is. It really is. And like, you
want to feel like you're the all-knowing genius who can do everything right, like
it'd be nice, right? The perfect situation. But you think of people like Steve Jobs. He knew that he wasn't that all-knowing guy, so he brings on what's the name, Tom Cook or something, or Tim Cook, and he came in and blew it up because Steve had this vision, and then Tim could go in and put all these processes into place, and then Apple is what it is now. And so when I look at that, when we're trying to build everything that we have built so far, we went and we talked to some private equity companies, like to look at buying the company potentially. Like, we didn't really have any intention to sell because we knew that we were undervalued with what we were capable of. But every conversation,
it's a nice benchmark.
Every conversation was like, wait, so you're telling me Select Adjusters bills this way, but then Advocacy bills this way, but then you have this random HVAC company that's over here, and then you make some money over here on appraisals, and it's all super confusing. Like, you need to clean that up. Like, all right, you're right, we do need to clean that up. So right now we're in cleanup phase. That's what 2025 is clean up and then expand. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it is messy. I mean, every industry is so different from each other. And so like combining them all into one roof, which is admirable, I feel like. Because when you do have a company that can do all of these services really well, then the homeowner experience is so much better. You know, they're able to trust you with your claim, the roof, your entire home care, instead of having to be potentially scammed by different contractors. And so it's great that you're pushing so hard for this vision, and hopefully homeowners will appreciate it as you guys refine your processes and improve in the future as well.
And like you said, it's the value that matters more than anything else. Like, you can charge a premium on your service if you have that value there, and that's what we're looking for, right? We tell people, or what we tell our employees, like our core purpose is that we want homeowners to be able to enjoy their home and not, instead of worrying about them, right? Mm-hmm. And so if we can start with their roof or their air conditioning because it's 120 degrees outside, we want to be able to handle either side of that, and then give them those perks of, hey, because you used our roofing company, we actually have $1,000 to manipulate your air conditioning unit on your roof. We can actually apply that $1,000 to your AC unit to get a brand new AC unit, and you're gonna get a 10% discount on your AC unit just for knowing us, basically. So we can knock them both at the same time, because your AC unit is 20 years old. You need a new one anyways. So let's figure out what process that we can do, or what payment plan we can put you on so you can get it done, so you have a brand new roof, a brand new AC unit, all at a discounted rate, but you're getting top tier, like, premium quality, right? And so that's what we're really focusing on, is every client. Like, I guess what we're trying to do is turn every customer into a client
for everyone.
Yeah, a client or customer for life.
And what does that look like long term? Like, I know I've heard discussions about like memberships, or like, is it just referrals, or what's the goal product that you're gonna?
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing home services, because that's where we've dabbled in things that weren't home services, and we've talked about doing things that weren't home services, like credit card processing, or potentially like selling insurance, and it just never really felt right. It was very difficult to make that cross. And so ultimately we just want to be able to be that person that they can call, in either we do it or we know somebody that can do it for them. And depending on the time, right, this year we can do 5 or 6 services, and hopefully in the next 2 years we can do 10 or 15 services, right? And so we could be that one stop, one call kind of person. But the goal would be, like, my crazy idea that I'm trying to get put into place is what our first call is called an HSA plan, which obviously you know what a health savings account is, where you put money into this account and you can use it when you have a rainy day or you have an injury or something. You can use that as a health plan. What I want to be is a home savings account, where every time you use one of our services, whether it's a membership program where we're tuning up your AC units, or we're unclogging your drains quarterly, monthly, whatever your needs are, or checking your roof once a year after monsoon seasons, every time you use one of our services, a portion of that money goes back into a ledger that we're keeping internally, so that they know, and they'll be able to have a portal to check it, that they have money in their account. So when that rainy day does come, when they do need a new roof, or that they need a new AC unit, they can use that money towards that account. So it's money that they're already spending, but a portion of it's going back into it, right?
Percentage rebate that's credited to whatever services they need in the future.
Exactly. So then that will kind of make them so they feel like, hey, we're here in the long run. And it gets pretty deep. Like, I can talk about it quite a bit because it's all in the concept, but like, we want to get to the point where it's such like we're involved with the community, right? We just had a drive where we were able to get, like, I think it was like, ironically enough, $6,900 raised for this family. And we got them shoes and school supplies, because school's about to start, because their house just burned down and they didn't have insurance. And so we were able to get the community together, get some money for them so they can at least start over to a certain level. And so we want to get more involved with the community as much as possible. We sponsored Little League teams, and Oregon Stop is a local landmark that we go to every year, as well as a community. And so what we want to do is we want to start incentivizing people to be part of the community, where if let's say you live in the 85204, right? Every time somebody gets a service in the 85204 and you're one of our members, we want it to get to a point where you get compensated, because your neighbor, even if you don't even know your neighbor, you get compensated for it. You just receive a couple dollars into your HSA account and saying, hey, Bryce C in 85204 just got a new air conditioning unit. Here's $5. Good luck, right? Like, just stuff like that, because at the end of the day, like, we want to be able to provide that area where we are.
It would only be existing customers on this membership or plan.
Exactly.
Or whatever it is.
Yep. So that builds that community, and maybe we do stuff where it's like a flash program where you say something along the lines of, "Hey, if you are the first 100 clients to take a picture in front of your roof or next to your air conditioning unit or in front of your water heater, you get $10 or $25, whatever that is, just so it makes it fun too. People get involved, they get $25 in their HSA account. And so like, again, it builds it so we're going to be on the forefront of that person's mind, because that's all marketing is, right? If you hear roofing, who do you think of? If you hear HVAC, who do you think of? We need to be that person. And these are ways that we're trying to get it into place where we are that first thought whenever somebody hears one of our services.
Wow,
that's the goal, at least.
That's news to me. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's so far. It's like so far down the line, because there's so many things that we have to clean up first. Because
before you can get to that,
we started talking about it like 3 months ago. Like, hey, let's get this rolled out by the end of the quarter. And then we started talking about it. It's like, wait, we don't have a CRM that can handle this.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's do that first. Let's get some websites first. Let's do this first, and we'll get there. But let's keep this in the back of our mind and figure out how to build that out while we're building
the eventual reality of
Yep.
having a community-based home service company.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been cool. That's what like keeps me up at night, but in a good way, right? Like where I can't sleep. Like I'll be laying in bed sometimes, and I try to keep my phone like further than the arm's distance away, so I don't keep reaching it or the radiation going and giving me brain cancer or whatever, right? So I keep it kind of far away, but there will be nights where I'm like just sitting there. It'll be 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, I need to write this down. And I like get up and like type. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I had a really good idea. Let me write it down. And then I wake up the next morning like, that's a terrible idea. What was I thinking? So that happens more often than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, I do that a lot too.
Yeah, I was gonna say any entrepreneur probably suffers from the same problem.
Ideas, yeah. Trying to remember what mine was last night. I had one that I wrote down. Maybe I should check.
Yeah, I was gonna say delete it or circle it because it's a good one.
Yeah,
you never know.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, I don't want to get too distracted. But yeah, that's awesome. Interesting. So going back to what your core services are, so right now you still mostly run the roofing company. You've been looking to long-term build a community, and you already do that a lot. You're involved in the community more than I think most people even realize.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we need to get some news connections together, because you guys do a lot of good work. And I mean, it's great to not, pat yourself on the back all the time and just do it for the wrong reasons. But some of it, you should have some more publicity on than what you guys have. You have like every single week you have like this week, you got the fundraiser that is still going on right now that Brandon was sharing. I don't know if that's the one that you just got.
Same one.
Okay, and then like 2 weeks ago or something, you had like a blood drive, or last time I was at the office, you had
we had a blood drive going
all the time. And then you always have like I don't know, there's all sorts of things.
It's random things all the time.
All the time, constantly, like community.
We need to figure out how to really capitalize on it, right? Like, we're doing it because we genuinely care about the community, but it doesn't mean that we can't help more people through that process, right? And that's what we really need to focus. That's one thing that we're working on too. Yeah.
I mean, like in college, we studied, like I took a class about, I forgot what the word is. There's a book called Prosperity Paradox. You should read that book. It's a great book.
Okay.
But it's like basically about social entrepreneurship, where like most of the world's problems and the society's problems don't have to be solved by governments. They can be solved through entrepreneurship. And then it gave a bunch of examples about how like suffering, like there was this guy who created these Indomie noodles. I don't know if you ever eat those. They're like my favorite type of noodles, actually.
Okay.
They're so good, you should eat them.
Yeah, I'll go try them.
You can go to Mekong, they sell them over there in giant packs.
Off of Dobson?
Yeah.
I
love that story.
I was gonna say, I imagine you're over in that area all
every time
the time.
I come over here, I go there. It's so good. Dude, I should make you guys some Asian food sometime. I love it.
Let's do it.
But anyways, I don't want to go too far down this tangent, but basically Indomie noodles went there in Africa. They realized there was no roads, there's no cell phone towers, but they built a plant and they sold it there. They've never had noodles in their market that they were selling in, and so people thought they were worms. It was against all odds. This company has exploded. Like they just invested in the community. They built the roads themselves because there was no roads. They built the factories themselves. They built the market themselves, and they just kept hiring locally. And it's become this conglomerate that powers millions of people's lives.
That's awesome.
Through entrepreneurship. Yeah. And like entrepreneurship is able to solve almost every problem. Like it was able to solve hunger. They built their own hospitals because they needed hospitals for their employees. through commerce, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, that's what, like, I really see what you guys do a lot. And like, man, like they're taking, instead of funding their marketing, which I wish you guys would fund your marketing a little bit more, but instead of putting your money into marketing, you're putting your money back into the community all the time.
Yeah.
Which, and same with like, and instead of, you know, paying for TV ads or whatever, you're giving people discounts of your existing customers to their other. And so people need to appreciate that and realize like, wow, like, these guys are good, you know, like it's the type of company you want to work with. Yeah. And so, I don't know.
So I agree 100% with what you said, with a little jab to me about needing to put more money toward marketing. I agree 100%. But where I'm stuck is the same thing, going back into why I don't have the HSA accounts set up, is because I don't have the process, and like, at least I don't see the process yet of where to throw the marketing. Because I look at it like, yeah, we could go throw $5,000 a week more into Facebook or Google, and we'll get leads from it. But are they optimized leads? Can we make them better? And that's where it's like, I need to get more involved on that side of it, so I can see it working hand in hand with you and Chandler to really see where we can get that value. Because community outreach is cool, and it's a way that you can get leads, but these big dogs that are multi-million-dollar companies, they do participate in community outreach, but a lot of it is they know, they have a calculator in their process that if I put X amount of dollars into Yelp or Google or whatever, they're gonna get Y result, and it's to a science almost.
They've turned everything into numbers, which is great and efficient, but it's also become so impersonal. You know, like everything is just a process, and it's all just the end result of money. Right. Which I like the version with you better, where it's like a little bit more grassroots, and like it's kind of just trying to tell a story, but we just need to get better at telling the story. You know, 100%. We need to get the story recorded. We need to get it out there, and we need to put it on mediums that people can see. You know, we need to get them on ads. That's why I have you in this podcast. Like, man, we got a great story. No one's ever going to hear about it.
No one hears about it except for the people that you tell personally.
So let's get you on some podcasts. Start telling your story a little bit. Maybe we could, you know, if that's a nice thing. Like in advertising, a lot of it is just testing. So like maybe some of this, I'll post a clip of this, and some of it won't resonate. It'll only get 10 views. Maybe you'll share it, and one of them will get 2,000 views. That one that got 2,000 views, people tend to like for whatever reason. It could be the most boring part of the interview. Right. But we could put money behind the one that people liked, and that's how you test. You test with organics first. The one that's working well, you put some money behind it. Even YouTube ads, like YouTube ads, views are really cheap, you know. And it doesn't always have to be like that. That's not the same style as the big brands that are getting put in X and getting Y, because you won't always get a huge amount of return off of that, telling that story. But just putting $1 a day on that video might get some leads, and it will tell your story more, and it will build your over brand. And so it's a much longer term type of marketing, which I like more.
Yeah, you need the balance for sure. You need money in the account today.
You need LSA, and like you need, you know, the PPC, which gets the top of the funnel, people who are looking right now because they have emergency services. It costs more. You know, our average cost per lead is like $80 or whatever on LSA right now. It's kind of expensive, but like, you know, in the long run, you want to build a story.
Or you're not paying anything because it's just who you are as a person, and people are going to pass that through. And I think like when we go through it and we look at our marketing in general, I think out of most roofing companies, especially our size, we do the least amount of marketing for the size of our companies. Like, we don't spend very much on LSA. Like that's the only one that we really spend any money on. We don't spend it on Facebook. We don't spend it on YouTube. Where I know we could get value from those things. We just need to clean it up, but continue building out that story and our brand is what we're really focusing on too. We're doing a lot of rebranding and a lot of just like cleaning up stuff, where I created a logo, or Mark created his logo for Everest there. Just probably copied and pasted it off of Vistaprint or something. And it's been the same thing. So yesterday we had a discovery call of talking a little bit about what we should be looking for in a logo and what colors and things like that. So we're seeing that we're probably going to be doing some sort of rebrand, keeping the name Everest because it is a very well-known brand in the area, but just cleaning it up, making the logo more concise and simple, and they know what we're doing right off the rip.
For sure. And it makes sense, you know, like before you ramp up your marketing, you want to get your messaging clear. You want to have your branding, you know, so that because you want to build recognition long term, and so like you want to have that logo where you're going to keep it for the next 10 years
Yep.
before you invest a lot in getting everyone to know what it looks like.
Yeah, I think what's really cool in our process, why I think we've had a lot of success in the area, is I'm very open to my competitors. I'm always looking for opportunities to help them in the ways that I think that I can. And so a lot of times competitors will call me asking them questions like, oh, how do you fight this insurance company? Or what do you say to this insurance adjuster? And as I talk to them, the way that I look at it is I will give a lot of free information, because eventually they're going to call me and say, hey, I tried everything you asked.
Just do this claim for me.
Yeah, just do it instead for me. What's your cost? Oh, it's going to be 20%. Oh, it's going to be $2,000. Whatever that number is, it always ends up, not always, but more often than not, it comes through, right? So right now we work currently, I think last time I checked was a couple weeks ago, we work currently with 22 other roofing contractors as a consultant, as an appraiser, as a public adjuster for them.
Wow.
And so a lot of people are like, why would you give them the sauce? Why are you giving them all the secrets? Like, because we work together. Like, they're my client. They're not like competitive. They're my client. They're my friend. Like, we go out to Suns games together. We go on the lake together. Like, I'm trying to make it so that there's not this competition, because when I did start the company the first time, I remember there was a storm out in Safford, Arizona, huge hailstorm, first one that Arizona has seen since 2010, and we're new, right? We're like 9 months in, we're like, oh, we're gonna go beat everybody, and start knocking doors, and then people would come and knock doors behind me and steal my clients from me because they didn't know who I was, and there's like, oh, these punk kids think they can come into our market and get these claims, and it was just like middle finger up to everybody. I want to fight everybody I meet. I'm gonna start sending lawsuits to people for defamation and libel and any other fancy legal term that I can use. And then it dawned on me, probably, so that was 2016, probably in like 2018, the beginning of 2018, towards the beginning of 2019, it really hit me like, no, they're not competition anymore. They're a resource for me to make the industry better. And if I can participate in making the industry better and the home service and the insurance world better, I'm going to do my part. And so that's really what we came down to and what we believe in as a company. So we don't really flip off anybody anymore.
That's awesome. That's so great that you mentioned that, because that's what me and Brennan were just talking about an hour ago, about like lifting together and how you don't have to like push people down. You got to lift.
Yeah, they don't need for
it. Grow together, your own company, your employees, and other competitors too. You want to bring the whole industry up with you.
Yep.
It's cool.
It's been cool.
Yeah, it's cool that you must be building that culture, even if you don't say those words, you know?
Yeah.
But your employees get it.
Yeah, no,
that's great.
That's really what we're trying to do. We just changed our core values. Our core values before were like, they're not stupid, they're all necessary, but like honesty, communication, trust. It's like, no, you should have those. If you're a decent human being, you should already have those things, right?
Yeah, the baseline.
So, yeah, exactly. That's the baseline. What makes us a little bit better than other people? Because when someone has like something that says like integrity windshield, like, I probably don't trust those people, right? Like, there's a reason why they're overcompensating for something. So let's figure out what that is. And so with that, we changed our core values recently to versatility, growth, and win. And so why that comes into place is like, for versatility, it's so important to be versatile. Like we changed it to versatility because I say versatile and Wesley says versatile. And there's a really hard time. So we're like, you know what? We both say versatility. I don't say versatility. So we're good with versatility. And so with versatility, it's not only our employees are going to show that versatility when they see a roof damage, but they're there for the HVAC unit to talk about the roof as well, right? That's one key part. But then the versatility of being able to see another roofer and say, hey, instead of us being competition, how can we work together to help this homeowner? Like, I have a partnership with one of our competitors where it's a church, a United Methodist church that we work. I think we've done like 20 churches for them. And there was an opportunity where I talked to the first church, like ground zero, right? And then a couple weeks later, they talked to that church, not knowing that we both talked to him. And the church calls me back like 2 months later and he says, hey, I'm having a really hard time right now. I've had like 6 or 7 people come talk to me about my roofs. I've liked only 2 of them. 5 of them I really didn't like. They were shady. I didn't like them. But 2 of them I really liked. And you're one of the 2. And that's why I'm calling you. But I'm torn right now. What should I do? I'm like, okay, well, I work with a lot of roofers. So who was the one that you were talking to? And he gave me their name. Like, hey, what about this? If I call them right now and they agree to my terms that will be the best interest for you, where I will do all the insurance adjusting and they do all the roofing, and there's not going to be a double fee where you're paying both entities, and we're able to work together on this. Are you willing to make that agreement? He's like, I get 2 companies and the value of 2 companies for one. I'm like, yes. And he's like, yeah, make it happen. So I call that company. I say, hey, look, you can either have half of $500,000 claim, like that's obviously not the profit, but $500,000 of a claim that ended up being $1.6 million, or you can potentially have 0 or 100%. Which odds do you want, right? Like if you're a betting person, let's see best man, like see who's best, but let's see what happens. But I'm down to do the 50-50 because I know where my value is and I know that you guys can bring in your value. They agreed to the 50-50 terms. We killed it on this one claim, and we did such a good job that this conference talked to everybody else in the conference and said, hey, you should call these guys to do a free roof inspection. And that's why from there, we've received 19 more churches from them. And
Are you still partnering with the other roof for every one of those?
Yeah, every single one of them. Because I am.
So you're doing 50-50 for 20 different roofs now?
Yeah, for 20 different roofs instead of 0% of 20 roofs. Or, yeah, 100% of 20 roofs is cool. But at the end of the day, they take on a lot of the liability and the footwork and stuff like that. And so it's been really cool working with them and seeing that, hey, I was able to show that versatility to work with them. And we've just seen the results from it. So it's been really cool. And it's been a great partnership that we've been working with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been cool. So we try looking for opportunities where, and then ironically enough, it ties into the next core value or the last core value of win, where we wanted to put it to be win, 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 but it's a little bit too long for us. But ultimately, that's what it is. It needs to be a win, win, win situation. It needs a win for us, our staff, our employees, the customer, or the contractor, whoever's involved. Usually there's like what I've noticed is there's usually 3 people involved, right? Like if I'm working directly with a client, it's myself as the company, our subcontractors, and the client, right? It needs to be a win-win. If we're working with the insurance company, maybe we don't need to fight those insurance companies. Maybe we can work with them and make it so there's a settlement that we win, the insurance company wins, and the homeowner wins, right?
Insurance not necessarily the enemy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we've kind of changed our thought process on that side of it as well. And some insurance companies are still our enemy. We're trying to warm up to them, but they haven't yet. So we're working on that. But little by little, that's what we're trying to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been cool. A little bit of a culture change and a lot of new faces in the office, but it's been good overall.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it stressful having so much change at once?
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of payroll that comes in when you got to add employees and.
Yeah, this year alone we've added probably close to about, between the big 3 companies, we probably have added about $700,000 in the year of payroll.
Wow.
And so it's like, yeah, it's a little stressful to think about that.
And even while you're working on changing the internal processes, you still have to keep up the sales. Otherwise, that payroll is going to weigh on you.
Exactly.
And so like, it's not like you can take your foot off the gas completely. You got to.
Yeah, and that's where I have to give a shout out to Brandon though, because he's really taken the direct team by the horns and said, hey, I'm going to make sure that we're getting in every month. We've been growing month over month on our sales, on our door-to-door and our direct sales team. All the other forms of sales have been pretty consistent as well. So when you have all these ones being consistent, not dropping, and this one exponentially growing, we're able to afford all of those things and all the changes and all the different softwares that we're paying for and the overhead. So it's been cool seeing that. And I think it's kind of funny. I've noticed that I think it's been more stressful for my employees that have been with me for a really long time.
Oh yeah, because they're not used to
the change.
They don't
to the
have
new
your
faces.
vision all the time, so you have to bring them on board.
Exactly. I could have said it better myself, because that's exactly what's happening. So like, I feel great. I'm like, yeah, I see the direction. It's going good. But they're like, yeah, but what's
happening?
What's gonna happen to select adjusters if you're gonna close down select adjusters to reopen this other one? That's my baby, right? It's like, well, it's my baby first off, but thank you for your sentiment. But we're moving to this one. We're gonna change it. We're at the next stage of our life. So it's cool seeing like that they care so much about the company that they've been a part of for so long. And so I don't ever want to again lose those grassroots where we're at, because that's why we are successful. But getting into that level where we are able to compete with the big dogs, but maintain those grassroots too, kind of that balance.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's the goal.
That's awesome.
It's been fun. It really has, Bryce. It's been stressful, but it's been fun.
Well, thanks so much for taking your time. I think we're about out of time now.
Yeah, this is awesome. I really
appreciate
enjoyed it.
Hopefully we can get you in here again.
I after this, I think I got over my fear, and I think I will be on here again soon.